Boom, 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 boom. What's up, people? We are back with more of Danganronpa 2. Shit just hit the fan. I almost want to say literally, but yeah, that's not quite what happened. But in the background, you see Ibuki laying there, and behind Kazuichi, which you do not see at the moment, is actually Hiyoko's, what we presume to be dead body as well. We haven't done any of the investigation yet, but Deadly Life has started as of right now, so yeah. Let's get to work, let's get down to business, unfortunate business, but it's gotta be done. Alright. Like, I've been putting up with this for a while. Hey! But why is it so damn hot in here? I hate being hot! It's because your clothes are so smothering. No, we were like, the moment we broke down the door, we were, like, a heat wave or something came at us. We felt that it was the temperature in the room was definitely hotter and higher and different. And that most likely probably has something to do with this place and the murders. I seriously can't stand it. I'll let you guys investigate this place. And so, Kazuichi left the music venue under a cloud of grumbling complaints. But it really is hot. In fact, it's swelteringly hot. But why is it this hot? No, before that, I need to check the Monokuma file first. Okay, so let's see. Okay, there's actually 2 people on there. 2 people. There are 2 victims this time. Ibuki Miyoda and Hiyoko Sayonji. So I'm still really interested in how the how it's going to work out, you know? The class trial, but that's something that will obviously come later. But one thought that came to mind after I ended the previous video is, what if, you know, if Monokuma will actually just say, alright, there's one person that killed both of them, and so the class trial will be to uncover both of these murders. Because it's never actually come up in a conversation or, you know, within the rules or any time during Danganronpa ever. But, like, could you technically kill 2 people and then that class trial would be about who killed the one person that committed both of those murders, and then there's more pressure on the people to try and connect the dots of like, okay, this person killed those 2, right? Because, well, I mean, it goes both ways, okay? There's potential for more clues and more evidence being left behind because he killed 2 people, right? Or the person killed 2 people. But at the same time, it's kind of harder to say. Actually, it does make it easier, right? I've completely changed opinion on the point that I was trying to make. Well, fuck, I don't know. I thought at some point like it might become a little bit more difficult when you have 2 murders, but if you already say out from the beginning, alright, there's one person, it kind of does make things a bit easier. Well, I'm still don't know how it's gonna go, but we'll find out eventually. Let's focus on investigation first. There are 2 victims this time, Ibuki Miyoda and Hiyoko Sayonji. Ibuki Miyoda's cause of death was a crushed windpipe as a result of choking. There are no other external injuries. Hiyoko Sayonji's cause of death was blood loss due to her throat being slit by a sharp-edged tool. It appears her death was instant. What the... Is this it? I already knew the cause of death from the beginning, so this isn't going to be a useful clue. That's true, it lacks in information quite a bit, but I feel like, like my, you know, you guys know that my memory isn't the best when it comes to short-term memory and things that happened a while ago. In any case, my memory is usually, I have a very selective memory, okay? Some things random things I tend to never forget at all, and then certain things that might end up being important at some time, even though it was mentioned 1 minute ago, I'll just forget randomly out of the blue. So, you know, I have a really weird memory, but it's not the greatest, let's just say that. But I feel like the Monokuma files, although they look cooler, right, because they're on a tablet, you get the pictures there and everything and the information, but I feel like the information on the Monokuma files in Danganronpa 2 have actually just been the sheer information that's on it has been less informative and less descriptive, less direct, less, I don't know, just more vague and less useful almost than in Danganronpa 1. I feel. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case, but they look cooler at least. It's strange. Why did the killer kill 2 people? The only way that that could possibly happen is that the killer first killed 1 person and then the second person just managed to show up, saw the kill or the killing happen, and then the murderer just had to, I had to commit at that point. Why do I say he? Like I already know it's a he or something, but I'm just saying, I meant the killer, of course, but like that's the only justification I can think of to kill the second person. Because there's no other reason to kill the second person, because after killing 1 person you already become the Blackened. And as we kind of mentioned before, even though that might not really be true, but I still kind of think that way, that if you do kill 2 people, it kind of becomes easier to point out the real killer, because not only is it the fact that that you leave possibly more clues, evidence behind, it's also that you just dwindle down the numbers, right? We were here with 15 people. Every single killing, the group gets smaller and smaller, so it becomes somewhat easier, at least percentage-wise, to point out the right person. But yeah, that's the only reason why I could think of that he possibly... Oh, fuck, he again. Why the killer possibly killed Hiyoko as well after that, if I'm still going by that order. It's just that, the second person walked in and was like, fuck, well, you saw me kill the first person, I can't have you blab it around, I have to off you as well. That's the only way I can think of it. But that seems pretty straightforward too. Huh? I mean, the more people you kill, the more clues you'll leave, right? Yes, Chiaki understands. See, that's why she's my waifu, we're on the same wavelength, she understands me, She knows what I am about. So, I don't think it's really necessary to kill 2 people and take that kind of risk. I agree with that. Or was there a reason that they had to kill 2 people? There must be. A reason for killing 2 people? Regardless, something like this shouldn't be forgiven. So...
I'll definitely find out.
I'll definitely find the truth behind this case. You and me both, Chiaki, will work together.
I think...
No thinking. Be confident, girl. Seriously, I'd really prefer if she had a more confident-sounding catchphrase. Me too. Alright, well, let's talk with the people first.
Something like this!
It has happened once again. 2 of my cherished friends died at the same time. I cannot believe it.
How cruel.
This is the place where Ibuki sang for Fuyuhiko. Hiyoko looked like she was having so much fun listening to her music. And now those 2 are no longer here. Oh, such a tragedy.
I understand how you feel, but please, get a hold of yourself. 2 of our friends were killed. That's all the more reason why we can't just leave this alone, right?
So just as I thought.
We must do this then, for the sake of the 2 who have fallen.
And the thing is, right, we're at chapter 3 right now, but the group is surprisingly small, I feel, Because Nekomaru is also missing for this particular case and class trial and everything. So, I feel like we're already at a really small group.
If only I'd noticed sooner. Ibuki might have been saved.
Hey, when did you realize Ibuki was missing?
After leaving Nagito's room, I went to the on-call room, and that's when it came to me that I should go check on how everyone in the hospital is doing one more time before I go to sleep. And so, I went to the patient rooms and noticed that Ibuki was gone. So, I quickly ran out of the hospital.
So that's what happened.
And then, I saw Fuyuhiko in front of the hospital. So I asked him if he could help me look for Ibuki. And that reminds me, where were you? I thought you were resting in the lobby.
That It's a long story.
I'm sorry. It's not like I doubt you or anything. There's no way I doubt you, 'cause we've been together since this morning.
Yeah, it feels like every time I woke up, Mikan was there, like right there. You're right. We were together until you went to the on-call room.
That's right. We were together until just a little before the morning Monokuma announcement. So, I don't doubt you. I'm telling the truth. Is it alright if I continue with my autopsy? If you talk to me again later, I'll tell you what I know. So please, spare my life at least.
Wow, she couldn't have made it more obvious that she actually, you know, doubts us.
No, I really trust you. She said that twice. I really trust you. So spare my life.
What happened to not doubting me? Well, Mikan's account. So we talk with those two. Best for last, Chiaki.
Damn right.
Hey Hajime, look at this. What?
Huh?
Look at what's in front of the door. Huh. This is a drumstick, right? And it looks like it's broken. That's what blocked the door. What happened to it?
Like...
If something like that is in front of the door, you think it might really be a big clue? Why would this be a clue?
Hey!
Remember when we came to the music venue? If it won't open, the only thing we can do is force our way through.
I wonder if that's gonna be possible. Of the four of us, two of us are girls, you know.
It doesn't matter if you can do it or not. We have to try. Let's go. We'll all charge at the same time. Ready, set, go! At Fuyuhiko's signal, yeah, we charged BAM, and then we opened the door. The door was locked when we tried to go inside, and the four of us charged into the door. But when I examined it, I found that this door doesn't have a lock at all. Huh? So the drumstick definitely. God damn it! I'm hungry. That I'm thinking of a different drumstick. But okay, the drumstick was definitely the thing that they put between the door handles to keep it locked.
I get it.
The door is designed to be pushed open, and this is the shape of the handle. Yeah, you can definitely put it there. If a stick was used to bar the door here, well, don't you think it would lock the door and keep it from opening? You mean, you think this drumstick was used to lock the door? The broken drumstick on the floor is in front of the door. Should be proof of that. Then, how was the killer able to get out?
Huh?
I mean, the music venue doesn't have any windows. This door is the only entrance. If they unlock the door from the inside, the killer wouldn't be able to escape outside. Oh
Like...
no. Maybe the killer was still inside when we broke down the door to the music venue. I was thinking this too, similar to the case with Sakura. And they waited until we were ready at the scene of the crime to join us.
I get it.
You know, don't they use tricks like that a lot in mystery dramas and stuff? If that's the case, there might be evidence of that somewhere here around.
Damn it.
Alright, I'm definitely gonna find it. I won't let the killer get away with this. See, ever since Pekoyama died, he hasn't been this way in class trials at all. But now he's really just determined on not only making his life count, but also just surviving, staying alive, and actually, you know, helping with the investigation, with the class trial, and everything like that. So, you know, as much as it sucks to say, and this is actually more a point in favor of Nagito, but it is actually true, you know? It actually seems that Pekoyama's death strengthened Fuyuhiko's hope, in a sense, right? It actually did do that, and it's sad to say that, but if you're looking at the bigger picture, the grander scope of things, maybe that is something that is necessary to actually defeat despair on a global scale, you know, because that's what's going on. That's what we know the world is in because of the biggest tragic blah 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 human event in history, world history, you know. I feel like I've read those particular words so many times, yet I do not know the correct order in which they're said. But yeah, I'm really liking this Fuyuhiko a lot more. The killer was still inside when we broke down the door to the music venue, huh? Like he said, that might be possible, but...
I've listened to the whole story.
Oh, what do you gotta say, Chiaki? Chiaki, that was a kinda cool entrance. Oh, I gotta do that too. Oh yeah, people, I heard all what you said, and just throw out my hand like that.
Well,
Besides the broken down drumstick, I've also discovered something interesting.
What is it?
see?
What is that?
Look, there's a weird glob here where the right and door left touch.
See? What the hell is that? You're right. What is this? It looks too firm to think it's rubber.
Yep.
It doesn't look like rubber, but
As she said that, Chiaki bent down, scraped off the semi-transparent glob with her fingers. What? Why is she eating it? Why are you putting it in your mouth? Don't just put everything that you in your mouth. What is it actually?
it smells like
Workshop chemical. If it smelled like workshop chemicals, why did you put it in your mouth?
workshop. And this chewiness. I see. This thing may be a glob now, but that doesn't mean it was a glob from the start. For instance, if it was originally a liquid that hardened into this, it might be possible to apply it directly and smoothly in the gaps of the door.
What are you talking about? For once? Yeah, that's disgusting, right?
Just as I thought, it tastes nasty.
Chiaki spat the glob out of her mouth and left the area. But signs that bit about the taste. It's okay to consider this some kind of clue, right? I guess? Semi-transparent glob. What the first thing that came to mind was Flubber, but that's a really old movie that most of you probably don't even know about, and it's definitely not that. But what the heck is that? So she said it was originally a liquid that hardened into this glob. Or blob. What's the difference? Well, one has a G, one has a B. Well, one has double B's, but you know what I mean. I actually have no idea what this possibly could be. I'm not good enough at chemistry to know that. Hey, are you okay? Are you still not feeling well? Huh? Yeah, I don't really get it, but when I think about Nekomaru, it's like my knees start shaking.
That's weird.
There's no way I've got that kind of weakness. It'd probably go away if I battled a strong dude, but Nekomaru's not here.
Nekomaru will definitely come back. I mean, one thing that I mentioned earlier, that's like, oh, Nekomaru's not involved in all of this, but just because we don't see him, just because he's not here, at least we haven't seen him, right, doesn't mean that he can't be involved in any of this, you know? I'm not saying that I'm pointing the finger at him directly, but it's just, I shouldn't cross him off of the list immediately. Now she's like, oh yeah, he's definitely not involved in this. It possibly could be, you know? So we gotta leave that option open at the very least.
Yeah, you're right.
So she's still acting like she has some sort of weakness towards Nekomaru, which is either still the lingering effects of the despair disease, or she actually, before she got sick, actually, because of Nekomaru's gesture of, you know, trying to save her and sacrificing himself for her, maybe she developed some sort of feelings for him. Alright, Nagito.
Hajime.
This might be impudent of me to ask, but will you listen to what I have to say?
Hey,
I heard that you witnessed the incident from the very beginning, right?
So what?
Can you provide me with a summary of the incident? I need to reach the truth behind this incident.
for the sake of dedicating my body to an even greater hope. No.
Well,
Why? Don't make me repeat myself! No! This guy just wants to confuse us. There's no way I'm going to tell him what he wants to know. See, this is the one thing where I do have a trouble and a problem with Nagito, is that yes, he does help during class trials, yes, he does try and help us reach the right answer, you know, to increase our hope to become, you know, for our hope to strengthen and blah blah blah. But he does make part of also the investigating and stuff like that, and he makes things unnecessarily more difficult sometimes. And I know his goal once again is for our hope to be strengthened, but still, it's just, I feel like it's such a morbid thing that, you know, a person just got murdered, we're trying to figure out the truth, and he's going to, you know, he's trying to mess with evidence, trying to lead us into false paths, and blah blah blah, you know? That's the one thing where I do actually have a somewhat big issue with Nagito, that he's doing that stuff. Because, well, you know, these people here that do end up dying are our friends, you know? So we do have some sort of personal stake into this. So I feel like actually messing with evidence and stuff like that, it's kind of disrespectful to our friends and the people that have died. But I get his point that he's trying to make with it, like his goal, but yeah, I personally don't appreciate it, at the very least, to say, you know, especially because I'm one of the persons as well, at least, you know, Hajime, that's trying to do a lot of the carrying, the heavy lifting during class trials, trying to get to the bottom of things, trying to get to the truth, and then having unnecessary shit to just, you know, dig our way out of. It's just, I just don't appreciate it too much.
how unfortunate.
I see. That's disappointing. Alright, can I squeeze through? Yep, Gundam, there he is. Even I'm horrified of my power, of the eye of the Overlord. What the heck is this?
Nature, the collective will of the world.
You stupid fool. I cannot believe you haven't noticed that aberrant thing. Pitiful humans. They refuse to lift their heads up for the fear of doubting the authenticity of the blue sky. Lift my head up? Does he mean that there's something up there? Up where? I don't see anything. Unless he meant the stage thing. I have no clue. Alright, let's check it out. There's only the stage and the broken machine. And the staff door, which is probably really useful. That's it, right? Alright. Oh, I almost forgot you, Chiaki. I actually couldn't click on her. Oh, it's a individual thing, alright. Can I actually get out of here? No, I actually wanted to check the thing that was on the ground, but okay. Since we're already committed to the stage, let's check here. So, the news... Oh, Chiaki. It's the rope that was tied to the baton line on the ceiling. And Buki hanged herself with this rope and died. From what I can tell, it looks like a regular length of rope, with no unnatural features. But despite the fact that this music venue has a storage room, there shouldn't have been any rope in there. Which means, was it obtained from the supermarket? Did the killer bring it from there? That means anybody could have obtained this rope, and it means it'd be difficult to use this as a clue. I wonder if that's true. Huh? Oh, I just noticed a little something. Is it okay if I confirm it?
Hey!
Excuse me, Mikan. Do you have a moment?
What's happened?
There's something I want to ask you. There's no doubt Ibuki's cause of this was being hanged by this rope, right?
Well,
Yes. She had no other external injuries, so there's no doubt she died from hanging herself.
I see.
I see. So Ibuki died by hanging herself. That was obvious the moment we discovered the body. You might not have seen it, but we all saw that she hanged herself. We didn't actually see the act of hanging herself. We saw her walk up towards the stairs, and then like before, I think it was before she put her head in the noose, the screen blacked out. And once, like I mentioned before, a lot could have happened within the time when the screen blacked out, and Hajime ran over to the music venue and then found Ibuki already dead. And the thing about that is, right, if you hang yourself, I'm almost certain I've seen it in movies, but obviously it's movies, so I can't really say how accurate it is and how long it actually takes for you. But I'm pretty sure it's not an instant death when you hang yourself, right? You get deprived of oxygen, so it actually does take a while for the oxygen that you do have left in your body that does keep you alive to leave your system, and then no new oxygen is gonna come into your lungs and body, and you just die. That is quite a process, you know. It doesn't happen instantly. So I actually feel like that might have been a recording then. The video, that parts that we did saw, that would make sense. But the only person that could have done that is then Kazuichi, because he is a mechanic, so he's the only person that would technically be capable of that, I think, unless we have cameras hanging around here, but I don't freaking know. And one thing that I already noticed is that the stair behind on the floor actually has blood on it, but we'll save that for later. You're right. Yep, I got it. So that this rope won't be much of a clue. Then I might as well search another place. Jeez. As usual, I have no idea what he's up to. Rope used for hanging. The fact that it says rope used for hanging means there might be another clue that has with rope as well, and it has a different purpose. Hemp bag. Ibuki had a hemp bag on her head and was hanging from the ceiling. But why did she have a hemp bag on her head? Wait. Huh? That hemp bag. Upon further inspection, there's a Monokuma decal on the fabric. Oh god, remember at the cinema? Yep, it was there. It looks like this isn't just a normal bag. Oh god, I'm like trying to avoid checking out Ibuki's body at all costs, but we're gonna have to get there eventually. There's a massive candle positioned near the front of the stage. The dull light in that video must have been coming from this candle. A candle this huge might be perfect for lighting, but they didn't need to bother using a candle. They could have just used the normal stage lighting. That's why I believe there's just trickery involved in this. It's not as upfront as it seems, which it never really is, but yeah. It almost seemed like they tried to make a performance out of this, you know? Step ladder. The step ladder is tipped over on its side. This must be the step ladder that Ibuki used in the video I saw. Isn't that a blood stain? Ah, see, Chiaki noticed it too.
See?
Look, there's blood around the left side of the step ladder. As I recall, Ibuki didn't have any external injuries. If that's the case, then it must be Hiyoko's blood.
Yep.
That's the only thing I can think of. A bloodstain that probably belongs to Hiyoko is on the left side of the stepladder.
That means we can sort of confirm her position where she was standing when she got killed.
What does it mean?
I actually know, what is this thing? Is that just a visual glitch? Like, you see this this like purple, I don't know, right beside Chiaki. I guess I'll talk to the live person first.
With her arms crossed and a thoughtful look on her face, Chiaki was silently staring at the stage floor. Did something drop on the floor there? Nothing dropped. It's just dirty. Dirty?
Hey.
See? Take a close look at the floor. What is that thing?
See?
If you look closely, drag marks or something? Blood. It actually looks like really dried up blood, because the color is darker. You're right. There's a smudge as if something was wiped off. Wait. This isn't something. I think it's blood, and then maybe somebody tried to wipe it away and just did a horrible job at it.
Is this a bloodstain?
Yep.
Well, a bloodstain isn't strange. Hiyoko's neck was slashed not far from here.
But still,
Rather, what's strange is, why did the killer try to hide it?
Hide it?
so...
If they weren't trying to hide it, they wouldn't have bothered wiping it off.
The reason the killer wiped off the bloodstain, as long as the body is nearby, there's no way they'd be able to conceal the crime by wiping off a bloodstain. So, what was the killer trying to hide? Smudge on the floor. Ibuki is right here. Well, oh god, Ibuki! Ibuki's body lay atop the stage. She's wearing the hospital gown she was wearing when she was sick. What's this on Ibuki's feet? Uh-oh, blood. Oh god. I didn't notice when she was hanging, but the soles of her feet are dirty. It's blood, right? But there shouldn't be any external injuries on Ibuki. If that's the case, this blood belongs to someone else. God damn it. So one thing that we do have to encounter, the easy answer would be Hiyoko's blood, and it could be that, you know, it's that she stood in that pile of blood of Hiyoko's neck getting slashed. But I don't know where I'm going with this. But anyway, if we're, you know, the most obvious answer would be Hiyoko's blood, considering Ibuki herself doesn't have any external injuries. The two other people that did have external injuries, though, that we know of, that aren't new, is either Nekomaru, somewhat, you know, because he was bleeding, definitely from the Monokuma attack, and Fuyuhiko as well. Like, he sliced his gut open, so it could possibly... It's a long shot, obviously, but I'm just, you know, trying to possibly think of every single person that could be involved in this. And Fuyuhiko could be as well, like maybe he just overexerted himself, his wound started to bleed again, and then, you know, it just spilled onto the floor or something, I don't know, and then she stood in it. I don't freaking know, but that's a long shot possibility. Or the other killer just happened to get a wound that the person is now hiding.
Damn right.
Hey Hajime, can I talk to you for a sec? You already discovered the body before you met up with us, right? Yeah. At first, I didn't know it was Ibuki because of that hemp bag though. But I knew right away she was dead since she was hanging from that rope. The thing is, right, in the video, you couldn't, or at least I personally couldn't quite tell that it was Ibuki. That person, when you saw the person walk up with the hemp bag overhead, walk up towards the stepladder, and then, you know, try to put the noose on before it blacked out, from that I actually could not tell that it was Ibuki. But right after we saw this scene and we saw her hanging, I was just like, yeah, that's definitely Ibuki, because her hair, and her hair is not something, you know, that any other person here has, something similar, so that's why I'm like, maybe a person actually recorded that from before and it wasn't actually Ibuki itself, but just someone else trying to look like, I don't know, Ibuki, or just trying to, you know, remain anonymous to lure us here, because I think that's the biggest part, right? I think the biggest part is to lure us here. It has to have been a person. Obviously, you know, everyone here knows of the agreement that we made to meet with each other over the what's it called? Not walkie-talkie, but, you know, with the, we fucking Skyped each other, okay? I'm just gonna call it that. But everybody pretty much knew of that arrangement, right? So I feel like that one of us took that to their advantage, used that, and then, okay, so one person is gonna check, one or two people, they know that either Fuyuhiko and Hajime, or either one of those, will check that in the morning, right? Whenever they pick up. Because the thing is, right, it picked up and then this happened, and then that whole thing that I mentioned earlier, that hanging yourself actually does take quite a time. So I feel like that is all a quarter or something, right? But the thing is, that person used this to their advantage and used that to get us to come over here and then we got here. In this case, it was only Hajime, but I think they either accounted for either Hajime himself or Hiyoko himself or both of us, but not 3 people. So then the morning announcement wouldn't go off yet, and that means that us or we have to find other people, bring other people here, and then, you know, let other people know, and then the morning announcement goes off. And at that point, a lot of shit happened as well, right? The door was, a lot has changed since we only, the first time we walked in, we only saw Ibuki hanging, then we walked out, got other people, and then the door was actually locked. After we broke in here, Hiyoko's body was there as well, so I feel like, you know, like that is actually part of the plan. Have us see the video, lure us here, and during the time when we actually saw this and then went to get other people, something else transpired. I'm not sure if that second part was like part of the plan, but I feel like definitely the first part is part of some sort of plan.
Like...
Which means Ibuki must have died before Hiyoko was tied up. That would be the logical thought process, at least from what we know and what it seems like right now.
well,
That helps. There's no time of death written in the Monokuma file this time. See, that's another thing. Yeah, true. Normally, that's another detail that's lacking in this particular Monokuma file. No time of death. That means that it's a really important thing to this case, right? And that's where the trickery comes into play, I think. Definitely. So, I wasn't really sure who died first. I'm definitely saying this. It's not out of the question at all, and might even be more plausible that Hiyoko actually died before Ibuki. Considering, especially I think a big tip-off for that could definitely be true, is the fact that there is blood on the soles of Ibuki. It's true. Their estimated time of death wasn't written in the Monokuma file this time. But I should know when Ibuki died, because I personally saw it. In that video, Ibuki was climbing the stepladder on her own. So right after, I mean, look at that, you know? Look, you don't see hair hanging down from the hemp bag. That's why I feel like I'm not entirely sure if that is really Ibuki, and I actually don't think that it is. Wait, hold on. If Ibuki climbed that stepladder and died right after, does that mean she committed suicide? Now we're getting into things. This is what I was really thinking about as well, you know? It seems really obvious that she committed suicide. But, like, what happens then? If she commits suicide, would there no class trial happen for her? But those are probably questions that comes after this, you know? Let's focus on investigation. Because even if Ibuki committed suicide, it doesn't explain Hiyoko's death afterward. 2 different deaths happened at the same time. There's no way that's a coincidence. So we checked out Ibuki's body, we checked out the candle. Someone said there's something up here, right? The curtain. There's a black curtain hanging at the far side of the stage. This curtain, it's not wide enough. It can't reach from one edge of the stage to the other.
Huh?
It's not really a full-length curtain. This curtain wasn't originally here, right? If it was, it's strange that it doesn't fit properly. It was probably obtained from the furniture section of the supermarket. The thing also is that the color doesn't match up, right? I feel like in the video it's actually sort of a greenish color. I might be wrong though. Rocket punch, definitely. See? The back of the curtain is taped for temporary use, just like the curtain at the supermarkets. So, you're saying someone took the time to actually bring that curtain from the supermarket?
So...
If they went that far, this probably means something that the killer really needed for this crime. Or this was, probably. Why did they need it? Who knows? Maybe the other curtain got dirty and it leaves too much of a clue? Well, it wouldn't be a mystery if the answers came easy. Music menu curtain. Right Hiyoko's body. Hiyoko's body is suspended against the pillar of the side of the stage. She's wrapped against the pillar with duct tape, and she looks like she was forced to stand upright. Damn it! Who did this? According to the Monokuma file, her cause of death was a slit throat. Her neck looked like it stopped bleeding, probably because of the duct tape wrapped around it. But why is Hiyoko's kimono like this? Her kimono is all disheveled. Also, her sash is tied in the front. Did the killer do this too? Oh god. But when did the killer kill Hiyoko? Did the killer actually, you know, dress Hiyoko? When I first discovered Ibuki's body, I didn't see Hiyoko's body here. Yeah, the candle is there, the stepladder is there, and we can't see the blood from here. But indeed, Ibuki's body is the one. I mean, it's an obvious thing, but still, if that's the case, Hiyoko was killed. It must have been during the time I was getting everyone before I came back here. That doesn't necessarily. I mean, the thing that could happen is we see this body, we panic, we run out, try to get other people, and that's when the killer propped up Hiyoko's body on there, taped it, closed the door, locked the door with the drumstick, and then I don't know how he got out of there, but yeah. That's definitely something that the killer could have done within the time that we ran away from here and got other people and came back. But that was barely 10 minutes. Is it really possible that the killer killed Hiyoko and taped her up in such a short amount of time? Even if it is possible, whoever did it would have had a narrow window of time to do so. And because of that, because they have this really narrow window of opportunity, window to pull everything off, it's definitely premeditated. It's definitely thought about ahead of time, and it's definitely a plan that they thought of before and just like, alright, so this is gonna sort of happen, and that means I have about this much time to do this, I can make it work, alright, and that's when they did it. I think, at least. That makes the most sense. It doesn't make much sense to just... If this person did this all on the spot and just managed to pull it off, not flawlessly, obviously, because he left clues behind and whatnot, but, you know, managed to do all of this in time, then hats off to that person. That was actually well done, and quick thought, you know, quick thinking on their feet, they did too. Because the killer must be someone who doesn't have an alibi during that time, right? Yeah, that's true as well.
Hey!
Hajime, do you have a minute? That is true. That, you know, because of the people that were in the motel, it has to have been a person that we didn't see within that 10-minute gap, that 10-minute window of opportunity. No, you're in the way.
Now.
No, I don't wish to be in your way at all. But there's something I really need your help with. Help?
Actually,
If you look closely, there's an unnatural shape bulging from inside Hiyoko's kimono. So, I was thinking she might be hiding something. Uh-oh. Wait! Hold on. Don't tell me you want to search inside Hiyoko's kimono!
huh?
That's exactly it.
Why?
Well, it would have been a problem if she were alive, but she's dead now, you know? That makes it even more weird. Let's check inside your kimono while you're dead. Don't mess with me! Are you saying there's no problem with that now that she's dead? It just makes it on an entirely different level of weird and creepiness. But I can say it's for investigation purposes, right, Nagito? I hope at least. Fine. If you don't want to do it, I'll have to ask someone else. But it's interesting. He mentioned a bulge.
Hey!
So what does that mean? Akane.
Yo!
What's up? Of course she mentions, or he calls over the person that has like the least shame when it comes to anything sexual.
Hey,
Well, there's something I want you to do for me. It looks like there's something inside Hiyoko's kimono. So, can you feel around for that?
What?
I don't really understand, but I just gotta check Hiyoko's kimono, right?
thanks.
Thank you, Akane. Helping each other is such a wonderful thing.
Now then.
Let's see. Akane reached through the duct tape, binding Hiyoko as she stuck her hand inside her kimono.
That's weird.
Damn it. She's tied up so tight, I can't really reach with my hand. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Yo!
What? A key? There's something. Is this what you were looking for? Is this a key?
Perhaps.
It looks different than the keys to the cottage. So, this may be the key to her motel room. The key to her motel room, huh?
But
If her key was so deep inside her kimono that it'd be hard to remove, then it's very unlikely that the killer tampered with this evidence.
isn't that right?
Because if this is a trap, they would have put more effort towards the front of her kimono so that we'd notice it easier. Which means we can conclude this is something Hiyoko had with her all along.
Hey.
Hotel, motel room key. Also, it's not like I'm adding to that or anything, but it looked like you were curious about the condition of Hiyoko's body. Right, Hajime? Of course, that's why I'm investigating. It's true. There are several mysteries regarding her body.
Well,
Just hear me out for a second. Out of all those mysteries, what I think is the strangest is
see?
the way they wrapped her body with that duct tape. It's almost like they were trying to hide the wound on Hiyoko's neck. Don't you think? Hide the wound on her neck? But that's a silly thing to do. I don't really know if that was their true intention, but I guess it's a big help for investigation. Or maybe if they didn't tape her neck, to the pole, it would actually because the throat was slashed, that her neck and was actually so weak that her head might, bob forward and maybe eventually just freaking fall off. That'd be kind of strange though. I don't think that's actually possible because it's connected to bone and stuff, right? I don't freaking know, but random thought. Weird thought. The reason for the low volume of blood is because the duct tape is acting as a compress, right? If her body was alone after her throat was slit, the surrounding area would be a sea of blood. A sea of blood, huh? Two dead bodies floating in a sea of blood. That is enough to make anybody faint. Are we done in here? Drag more. Oh no, this thing. The baton lighting control panel. There's a control panel on the wing of the stage. It seems you can use this control panel to raise and lower the baton lighting on the ceiling. In fact, we use this to lower Ibuki's hanged body. Speaking of the lighting, the video of the music venue I saw. But see, look, the curtain here looks lighter, either a greenish or a blue or something, It doesn't really look black. Even though it's somewhat lit by the candle, I still think if it was really a black curtain, it would have been way darker, definitely. It had a dim, candlelight ambiance to it, and it didn't look like this lighting was used at all. But why didn't they use this lighting? Was there some reason that would have inconvenienced them? Maybe this video just wasn't shot at the whatchamacallit. That makes a lot of sense too. This video just wasn't shot at the music venue at Titty Typhoon. That's a possibility.
So you have appeared.
I see. So you noticed too, fiend. Huh? Noticed? So you didn't notice? Are those eyes just little glass balls? No, they're globs. The green glob. Take a good look at the baton lighting above your head. Have you not noticed that aberrant item? Look at the baton lighting? Up. Oh, you mean that? There's something that looks like black paper stuck to the baton lighting, and it's the paper that's covered around the poles, right? So you finally noticed. But on the left side, I think there was actually a piece of that missing. Definitely. But I can't really see it from here. I should lower the baton lighting one more time.
I
And
can see it!
there is no need.
Go, my 4 dark devas of destruction!
Go, Mirage Golem Hack Jumpy. Now is the time for you to take flight. Wahahaha! Feast your eyes upon the brave souls of my 4 dark devas of destruction. The hamster launched itself from Gundam's hand and ran up to the baton lighting on the ceiling in a flash.
Oh, it's so cute! Choo-choo!
It started running around the stuck slip of paper in rapid circles. And then the paper flooded downward and was definitely caught by Gundam. Yes, the 4 dark devas of destruction. As much as Gundam has, you know, he actually bragged about them so much, and this is the first time that they've actually done something useful. So, yeah, go hamsters. Did you see that? Behold the power of the ultimate evil eye wielder.
Wow!
That is amazing. I have never seen a hamster do tricks.
How pitiful.
I had a hamster too. The only trick that it taught itself was to pee on me whenever I held it. That's the only thing it did. They're my 4 dark devas of destruction. Hamsters are merely their temporary form. So, what's with that paper?
Fine.
It seems to be some kind of thick paper, though it does not have any special spell scribed into it.
That was close.
It appears it's nothing useful. It definitely is. No, that's not it. Show me the freaking left pole. There's no doubt. This is some kind of clue. I mean, the fact that it was stuck in a place like that, no matter how we think about it, is too unnatural. The fact that that scrap of paper is all the way on the right side up there, and the fact that, look here, shit is missing, paper is missing here. Like, what the fuck actually happened? How the fuck does this scrap of paper from here go all the way up there? Oh my god. I don't know. This is gonna be a lot. There should still be things I need to investigate. Oh, we need to talk to Shoppy? No, we already talked about this much.
But still,
Ah, this is what I was missing. AC control panel. The heat, right. This looks like it's the music venue's AC unit. That's right. You might be able to control or might be able to adjust the hot air in the music venue with this. Alright, I should mess around with it a little. Like so. It's running as a heater! Over 86 degrees Fahrenheit! Now I know why it's so damn hot! I better turn off the heater for now. That should cool things off a little. Why though? Oh, it must have been... No, wait. Huh. There's definitely a reason they raised the temperature, definitely. Nothing really comes to mind other than the glob though, but wouldn't it be in reverse? Because the thing was, that Chaki said, it was first in a liquefied state, that then turned into that hardened mass or blobby mass as the glob is now. But what kind of liquids, what kind of, I don't know, chemical thingamajig is in a liquid state first, and then when you heat it, it actually turns into a more solid state? I have no freaking clue. But that's the only thing that I can think of that it's used for. That they actually up the temperature to make that glob turn into a solid state. Huh. Yeah, none of the other clues that we found, I can see like it matches up with why they had to raise the temperature. Because it has to have been for a reason. They didn't just do this for fun, definitely. Anything else? No, we can exit that. We definitely need to see the broken machine. The shattered remains of a machine are spread all over the floor.
I see.
And this is
I see.
This is another thing, right? So that's one thing that we do have to take into account. That is just so. If you just look at this entire scene, right? If you were to take it literally and think, because this is more reasons to think that it was actually a recording of the person climbing onto the stairs that was shown rather than an actual, you know, actual events. Because think of everything that we see right now. So much shit has happened, right? And that all must have happened within the time that Hajime saw it on the surveillance camera, ran over to the music venue from the hospital, which isn't that long of a distance. And then within that time, because I'm pretty sure we saw the broken thingy-majig as well, the broken surveillance camera unit. Like that thing must have then broken after Hajime watched it. And Ibuki must have also died at that point, and just, I don't know, I just feel like there's so many things that happen in such a small time frame that it's like impossible without. Yeah, I feel like it's impossible. Definitely things were thought of ahead of time. It's planned, most definitely, obviously, but way more things actually happened before, and this was all just part of a plan to have people to show this. It's like, okay, I don't know exactly, right? But I think this person, the killer, just killed these people, both of them at different times or whatever. They just definitely didn't die within that small window of opportunity, right? And within that small time frame. But they died way before that, and then the killer thought of some sort of plan as to when to actually show these people in these situations with these particular clues at this point. You know, it's definitely thought out, like, oh, Hajime comes in, or the first person is going to come after watching the surveillance camera unit. Alright, I'll first show Ibuki only. And then after that person runs away, has seen Ibuki, and then goes away to get other people, alright, that's when I'll prop up Hiyoko's body, and stuff like that, you know? So it's so much shit that just can't have happened within that really small time frame. I feel like it's almost impossible. Almost.
This, too, must be the will of causality.
Did I just skip what Sonia said? I'm sorry, Sonia.
Kazuichi put in a music venue for communication purposes. Why is it destroyed like this?
Perhaps criminal psychology is at play here.
What do you mean?
Well,
Even if they know they are not being recorded, there is no way the killer would tolerate committing a murder in front of a camera.
Fine.
So that's why they destroyed the camera. Seems plausible enough.
They'd hesitate to murder someone in front of a camera. That's why the killer destroyed this? Then, what was that thing I saw? Anything else? The only other thing is this: we talked with every single person here, so the staff room. There's a door that says staff only. Looks like it is inside the storage room. Might as well investigate here too, definitely. Oh, Nagito is here. Oh, look, shelves. Oh, wait. Okay, there's only one little piece here ripped off of here. So that is the piece that was stuck on top of the lighting baton that the hamster took down. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, that makes a lot more sense then. And there's the stickers on the floor. Alright, let's see all that we have here. The mirror. Let's first talk with Nagito. Nagito, did you come here to investigate this storage room too? I just wanted to confirm what you were thinking. Is that it? Or is he trying to stand guard here?
Hey,
So, how about it? Did you find any clues? The tipped over stepladder on the stage, the duct tape binding Hiyoko, that probably all came from his storage room. There might be other things from his storage room that they used for the crime. You always pretend to give me hints, but in the end, you're just going to be on the killer's side right now. That's not really true. He does help us a lot. I'm not siding with the killer, you know.
I'm just on the side of whoever acts in the name of hope. That's all there is to it.
But...
That's the main reason why this case is really special. Huh?
Man.
But I can't say for certain though. What is this guy saying? As usual, he is not making any sense.
Hajime.
I still don't quite understand the details of what happened.
Right?
Hey, if you can explain it to me in detail, I think I'd be able to give you guys some more useful information. Really? You might end up confusing us again instead. You don't want us to find the truth. You just want to make us suffer. No, he does want us to find the truth, but he wants us to go through more efforts, and he wants for us to make it more difficult to find the truth, so that it feels, not necessarily feels more rewarding, but it is more rewarding, and it actually, you know, it's okay, if we're gonna explain this in simple terms, like, you know, it's like, imagine this is a freaking Pokemon battle, and he has a level 40 Charizard, right? And that is the if we were to compare the level 40 Charizard as this, that is this crime scene, okay? Everything that the crime scene is, the everything that we're investigating, blah blah blah. But Hajime just fought against this trainer that had the level 40 Charizard, and he lost so many times that Charizard level has increased to level 43. So that with the time when we come around, we're not fighting a level 40 Charizard anymore. No, we're fighting a level 43 Charizard. Therefore making it harder for us to actually defeat him, but it does feel, you know, it feels we're improving our strength and our hope and our own Pokemon's level as well while defeating that Charizard. And it's a really weird analogy, but it does kind of make sense, at least to me. And that's how I feel like Nagito is trying to sort of help us, but I just don't, it's weird as fuck that he's, you know, making the Charizard stronger just for us to then defeat it and become stronger ourselves. I mean, if it were only Pokemon battles, I wouldn't necessarily have minded too much, but the fact that it is with our friends dying and it has to do something with that, that's the part that I just find a little bit irksome. Yeah, I used that word. I just read it in a dictionary.
How mean.
That's not true. I'm doing this because I believe it's for everyone's sake. Oh well. For the sake of everyone's hope, I'd gladly become the enemy. And I won't even mind when I die.
Damn it.
That's the main reason why I can't overlook this case this time. Huh? What does that mean? Regardless, I guess you're not gonna tell me, huh? Then it can't be helped. I guess I'll just rely on my gut feelings. Gut feelings?
Hey.
You should come by later too. I'll go there first and wait for you. Where exactly are you talking about? Well, obviously, the movie theater. After he said that, Nagito walked out of my sight. Movie theater? That's the one thing that I feel like we haven't explored that much at all. And it was actually interesting. I did want to see Monokuma's movie, actually. Why the sudden interest in the movie theater? There's definitely stuff at the movie theater. If not just the hemp bag alone, but I feel like there's gotta be a bit more. But alright, this thing first, let's investigate. Left to right, full-length mirror. You can see your whole body in this huge, full-length mirror. It's probably used for checking costumes. With a mirror this big, it'd be easy to check out how you look. Here we go, musical instruments. There's a lot of different, right here. I know about guitars and drums, but there's also instruments, but they don't pertain to the case. Alright. The stickers for sure. They were at least touched or brushed against, maybe just somebody nudged it a little bit and a couple of stickers fell onto the floor. There's a lot of stickers with the venue's logo placed on here. It looks like they made a bunch of them and had too many left over. It feels somewhat depressing. Huh. Compared to last time, it feels like there are less stickers than before. Am I overthinking this? What if the... Okay, one thing that could make sense is that
if you look at the left pillar, right? The left pole on the stage, the left pillar, I think pillar is the more appropriate word. That one was actually partly broken. I would have to actually check back before this murder and the couple of times that we were in Titty Typhoon to actually compare. But I feel like that's actually the normal way that the pillar looked like. And the right pillar was completely new. It looked fresh and everything, right? So what if the killer actually just changed the sheets, the paper sheets on the right pillar, and a little bit of the part got stuck on the top of the lighting baton, and that's why it's ripped off and it was stuck up there. That makes a lot of sense. I feel like that's actually what happened. There's carpeting, wallpaper, and paint on the shelves. It's probably used for stage decoration. This thick black paper that's folded up on the lower shelf. It looks like wallpaper. There are a lot of stickers pasted all over the front of the front side of this wallpaper. And this edge of the wallpaper, it looks like a little torn. But what does this mean? I guess that's everything important in this storage room. I guess I should go back to the music venue. So, considering the stack of stickers is also smaller, and there are stickers on the thick black paper, the stickers were probably, that seems the most natural thing, right? The stickers were just put on there. Alright, let's go back. Let's go back. Alright, with this, we might be close to finished investigating the music venue. But I still need to talk to Mikan. I need to make sure I get those autopsy results from her. Mikan, don't be hiding behind Sonia. How about it, Mikan? Have you found out anything by now?
To tell you the truth, it's been very inconclusive.
You've got it wrong!
But it's not my fault. This music venue is just too hot. Because of the heat, I can't estimate the time of death.
Oh, okay. So that seems to be another reason why the temperature was raised? What does that do though? That might be just some sort of body chemical thing I know nothing about. If you heat the body above a certain degrees, it becomes more difficult to estimate the time of death. I don't freaking know. I'm not a doctor or a nurse or anything like that. Because of the heat? Is that possible?
If a body is overexposed to heat or cold, you won't be able to determine a precise time of death.
And that makes... Oh, okay, so if that's the case, that was definitely done deliberately, right? We already knew it was done deliberate, the raising of the temperature, but this seems to be the reason for it. And this makes all the more sense that the killer does not want us to know the time of death, and that's why it's also not mentioned on the Monokuma file, because the murders actually didn't happen the moment we saw it, or that we think it happened within that small window of small time frame. It happened way before that. I'm definitely certain of that now. I see. That might have been the killer's goal. They covered up their time of death by using the heater to make the inside of the music venue hot. But that's weird.
But...
even if this heat is the killer's doing, is there any reason for them to cover up the time of the death?
I agree. As long as I saw it, it should be clear what order the murders occurred. No, this actually makes me think that I think actually Hiyoko died first. First was Ibuki, then Hiyoko.
And as long as this is an imitation murder, there shouldn't be any mistakes to the order of the murders.
Huh? Imitation murder? What does she mean by that? That's not a term that I'm familiar with. You don't know, Hajime? I thought everyone already knew.
See?
It's a murder where the killer uses a creative work, like a song or a film,
As an outline for their killings. What song or film?
It's so common in detective novels, mangas, and video games that you start to get annoyed by it.
How would an imitation murder be related to this murder? What are they trying to imitate? Which piece of art.
Well, based on the killing order and the way they were killed, it's clearly an imitation of
That movie? What movie? The Monokuma movie? That movie?
Good instincts.
The assumption is an imitation murder is the reason why the killer killed 2 people.
The goal was an imitation killer. Even so, why did they feel the need to do something like this?
Do you have a minute?
Excuse me, if this was really an imitation of that movie, then is it possible that one more person might have been killed?
This, too, must be the will
What
of
movie are they
causality.
talking about? Did they all watch Monokuma's movie and I'm the only one who wasn't? Or is this like a popular pop cult reference that I know nothing about, as usual?
It's certainly conceivable if the killer wishes to complete the imitation.
Hold on a sec. What are you talking about? An imitation murder? One more person might have been killed? Are you guys worried that there's gonna be another victim? Then no worries. Things will get out of hand too fast if a bunch of people will be killed at once. I'm a real cautious fella, so I prepared a perfect countermeasure. Ahem. On this killing school trip, the same blackened can only kill a maximum of 2 people. Wasn't there a similar rule like that in Danganronpa 1? I think there was. Not sure.
Huh?
You mean you've added another rule?
Yep.
Well, if killing everyone at once is okay, the blackened would be able to secure an easy victory, right? This new rule will prevent that. Make sure you slam it into your tiny brains. If it's a maximum of 2 people, then there will not be any more killings? That doesn't mean not any more killings, just not any more killings by the same person, by the blackened. Since you're here anyway, can I ask you one more thing? But he said it was a new rule. I feel like there was a kind of similar rule in Danganronpa 1, but not exactly the same as he said right now. Jackie wants to ask him one more thing. You know, I want to confirm one of the class trial rules. I see. As expected of you, you're very strict about games.
Perhaps.
I don't want to consider this possibility at all. And I don't even want to think someone would do this. If 2 cases occur at once, what happens if there are 2 killers? Oh, see, Chiaki, we think on a similar level, okay? She knows.
Huh? So...
Like I said, I'm talking about the possibility that Ibuki and Hiyoko were killed by 2 different people. That would mean that 2 killers exist at the same time, but we can only vote for one person, right? Exactly.
I am concerned.
If we can only choose one person based on a majority vote, the other person would certainly achieve victory.
Yep.
You're right!
See?
So, what happens in that case? What about a case where there's 3 incidents instead of 2? Or if 4 incidents overlap another one?
Silence!
Or one another? Shut up! It's okay. I'll make extra sure something like that never happens.
Hey,
Meaning, 2 killers can't exist at the same time. So it's safe to say that applies to this case too, right? Yeah, I think with that sentence as well, that Monokuma kind of confirmed that there's one killer that killed both of them.
wow. I don't like this.
Alright, fine. That's right. There's always one killer at any given time. Even if they had an accomplice, I'd have you figure out who the mastermind is.
This is kind of depressing.
Man, I ended up giving you a huge hint. She made me say it. Gamer brains are not to be underestimated. I actually agree with you, Monokuma. I should just shut up and go back to my cave. Exactly. It's winter time. Go take your hibernation. I see.
So there's no possibility for two killers to exist at the same time.
Okay, it's good to confirm that, because that's one of the first thoughts that sort of came to mind. It's like, what, two killers? What if there's two different murders? How is that gonna happen with the class trials and such? But that has been cleared up.
With this, I guess that narrows things down a little.
Yep.
That makes things a little easier.
Fine.
Plus, if the same killer can kill a maximum of two people,
Taste your powerlessness!
it means a third victim would be impossible. Imitation murder breakthrough. You guys keep saying that. That sounds strange to me. What do you guys mean by imitation?
What exactly? It's apparently a movie. I think Sonia said it. She said that movie. But what movie are they referring to? What movie did that person imitate? Or try to imitate?
Could it be?
You haven't seen it?
Oh, definitely Monokuma's movie.
Seen it? Seriously, seen what?
So...
Like I said, that movie. Can you just name the friggin' movie?
Oh my!
When we first explored this island, Monokuma was passing out invitation tickets.
Okay.
Then the imitation is...
Good instincts.
Of course. It's an imitation of that movie.
Well,
Based on the murders this time, it closely resembles that movie. As if they were copying it. As if they copied the movie? I see. Nagito mentioned something like that.
And that's why he wants to meet us there. Alright, it makes sense. Yep, the movie theater.
you...
I see. So you haven't seen it. Still, it's not too late, I think. It's probably a good idea if you watch that movie before the class trial starts. Looks like I need to do that. And I should get going too. There are other places I want to investigate.
Where do you intend to go next, Jockey?
Probably the hospital for sure. The first victim, Ibuki, was there. I don't know what was going on at the hospital in the first place.
You are right.
Thanks to that despair disease, we could not go there for some time.
She is right. It might be good for me to investigate the hospital too. There might be some clues related to Ibuki's death. For clues related to Hiyoko's death, I should try going over to the motel. There's still a lot of things I can do before the class trial. I'll definitely give it my all until the end.
Yep, so... 4 places actually that I think we could possibly, like 2 of them were already mentioned, the third one is obvious as well because it was kind of mentioned too. The movie theater, then the hospital, motel, and the 4th one's actually maybe the supermarket, but I'm not sure about that. Was it Rocket Punch? Kane's still here.
Just a little bit more time, and I'll be back to my old self. This ain't like me at all.
The thing about this is, right? It's hard though. But I feel like, why is Akane the only one that sort of apparently seems to have lingering after effects of the despair disease? But as far as it seems, Nagito does not. And the only other person that did have the disease as well was Ibuki, but we can't tell from Ibuki. So like, what the hell, you know? Why is she seemingly the only one that has the after effects? I mean, it's hard to tell whether Nagito has it or not, but I feel like the times when we definitely could tell, like, oh, he's definitely under effect, this is the despair disease talking, is because he spewed out these outrageous things, you know? Byakuya is still alive, he's part of the world ender, twins, the Veronica, something with someone being a clone, Fuyuhiko's clone, that sort of stuff, you know? That just seems so outrageous, even though at that moment I actually kind of took it half seriously and started to theory craft about like, could that actually be true? But, you know, I at least because he hasn't said anything outrageous like that, it seems like Nagito doesn't have any of those lingering side effects, after effects. So why is Akane the only one? I don't know. Mikana's still here. Don't worry, I'm really not gonna kill you, girl.
It's very difficult to estimate a time of death.
You've got it wrong!
But it's not my fault. It's because the music venue is so hot.
I got that already. Calm down.
But...
If the killer was behind this, is there any reason for them to cover up the time of death? As long as this is an imitation murder, there's no mistaking the order of the murders.
Not just that, I also witnessed it, not entirely though. And that's what the murderer wants us to think. It should be clear what order the murders occurred. First was Ibuki, then Hiyoko. As long as you know that there's no reason, yeah, I think we already did this, alright. Time to go to the movie theater.